Welcome. My name is Tom Clendon and I'm an ACCA tutor. And today we're talking about accountability. And I'm joined by Evie. Hello, Evie.
Hi, Tom.
And I'm joined by Aritz.
Hi, Tom.
Hi. So, accountability, Evie. Who are you accountable to?
I would say myself, because it's my journey, my ACCA journey, my career path. So really I'm accountable to myself. I'm only really maybe potentially letting myself down rather than anyone else. Yeah, I would say me.
And does an employer pay your fees?
Yes, so I'm an apprentice. So I go through the apprenticeship scheme for ACCA. So I have a skills coach through the apprenticeship scheme, and obviously my manager keeps me accountable at the same time. But I think personally, I would say I'm only, accountable to myself,
Okay.
I would say.
Respect. Aritz, who are you accountable to?
I think it's pretty much the same, in line with the same answer. But if you say, and I'm also accountable to myself, at the end of the day, all the effort that you pour into doing this qualification or any fails or anything is only gonna impact on you directly. So
Agreed.
yeah, I think pretty much accountable to myself. Obviously, sometimes you have the pressure from work, from your line manager, to keep on doing exams, to keep you in the loop. But at the end of the day, it's about yourself.
So when you were studying, Aritz, because I know you're now qualified, you just got over the edge, you're through the other side.
Yeah.
Looking back, people would have given you support. Maybe family, maybe friends, maybe work colleagues. What did that feel like? How did you get that support?
Well, I personally got the support from my best friend, from my dad mostly. And I didn't think, because they are not accountants, I didn't think how hard this was. But they were there, like, you don't give up. Because obviously you have dark days, especially when like the exam date is approaching. You don't feel you're ready. You start panicking. And
they were there for you.
They were there for me. They were there
calmed you
for
down.
me, and they had more trust in me than I had myself at the times. Because sometimes you need someone to tell you, Arich, you're ready for this exam. You can take it, and I know you are gonna pass it. Or when you get the results, like, oh my God, I'm gonna fail. The results, they come up at midnight. I was staying up until midnight. And my dad and my best friend, they were like completely convinced that I would have passed, but I wasn't myself. So sometimes you need that voice and that supportness to you
Every time.
to keep you in the right path, because at times it can be hard.
So Evie, I did my exams a long time ago in a pre-internet, a pre-social media world. Now, tell me what it's like in the social media world. Are you accountable on social media for your actions? I mean, does it give you pressure? Does it give you support? How does that work for you?
Yeah, I would say it's good and bad. I think it's like yin and yang, isn't it? Too much social media and too many resources available online can be very overwhelming. But at the same time, it can be a great resource and help and assistance. So me and my friend who is studying AAT, we have a studygram on Instagram called Only Two Nerds, and essentially the platform or the page was created for accountability. So it was more for us. We didn't think we'd have anyone following us. We didn't think anyone would enjoy it, things like that. But actually, for us, the objective of it was to keep yourself accountable, try and post once a day about accounting, so about the exam format or about a certain topic within a syllabus, within an exam, or just some study tips for ourselves, really. And actually, Only Two Nerds is a great community now, and it does keep us accountable. So we do study lives, so we do like power hours, most evenings, weekends we'll try and do like a 2-hour session, but break it up, so 45 minutes and 15 minutes to help with accountability. But then again, at the same time, social media can be quite consuming, distracting for exams. it can make you feel guilty. Someone's doing really well, someone's passed their exam, and actually you haven't done so well, or you're really struggling with a topic.
There's more on social media about, hey, I've passed, hey, I've done really well, than there is, I've got to resit again. And the reality of it is that the vast majority of ACCA students will fail an exam and will have to come back from that.
Yeah, and I think it's the struggles as well. Like, no one promotes this. And I think a few of our posts have been about struggling and who to reach out to and what resources and what you can kind of do for yourself as well, because everyone's completely different. Everyone has different home lives. They live somewhere different. We have different work commitments, things like that. And so I think comparing yourself on social media can be devastating. Like, it can be soul destroying, I think, sometimes. And I try not to post on exam results day, so Monday. I don't post really, and I do ask the community how they got on and things, and it's always a mixed results, I think, all the time. But
that's life. That's
yeah,
life.
Exactly. And being realistic. I think that's the main thing. Be realistic and try and show people that there is good and bad. And I think not passing an exam isn't failing, because failing is giving up. As long as you don't give up.
Can you say that again? Can you say that again, please?
As long as you don't give up, you haven't failed. So you don't pass an exam, that's not a fail. You just haven't passed that time, that sit-in. And I think that's a massive thing that Only Two Nerds tries to promote, is that you can't fail unless you give up. Giving up is failing, I think, personally. But if you didn't get it this time, that
success deferred.
Exactly. Exactly.
I love the way that you're using Instagram. You know, I follow you. I think what you do is great. As I say, when I was a student, Instagram didn't exist. No. But I used to go to college with my mate. And we would sit through the same class, and then afterwards we'd go to the pub or walk to the station, and we would talk about the class and we would reflect on the class. And I've learned as a tutor, I've learned retrospectively, that is pedagogically brilliant to feel that you're supported, to feel that you are connecting with someone else who's going through a similar experience. Does that resonate with you?
Yeah, I remember especially when I was doing SVR, I know doing homework and doing mock exams at the beginning, I really struggled. And I think the social media can help you out in the sense, like, if you're doing self-study or study online, there are times where you feel on your own. And seeing other people that they are on the same boat is good to see. But again, don't compare yourself to anyone. Keep your head down, keep on going. And I kept in my mind a sentence that you told me once: you didn't come this far to only come this far. And I think that sentence came at the right time for me, because it was like 2 weeks before the exam. And yeah, and I got an SVR first time pass with not the greatest, but the decent mark.
I think any mark that begins with a 5.
With a 5.
We'll take it.
Absolutely, we'll take it. That's the greatest mark. Yeah.
So yeah, don't compare yourself to others. Everyone is different. Not everything what you see in social media is true. Obviously, it can help, but people normally try to overreact and exaggerate about absolutely everything. And ACCA is not different. So
talk to me, or reflect to me, both of you, on accountability in terms of an approved learning provider and in terms of the support you get from a tutor, because I think that's slightly different from your sort of family network. You talked about your father and your friend, but what's been positive experiences in respect of tutors helping you and approved learning providers helping you?
So I would say that a good relationship. So I've been with First Intuition since AAT all the way through ACCA, and although I don't have the same tutor for revision, tuition or each exam, they're all available, which I think is great. So thankfully I passed my exam when I got my results this week, and I got 2 emails from 2 different tutors who weren't my tutors for that exam, but they both emailed me and said, like, I know, I can just see you passed your exam, congratulations, 1 more to go. And it's just having that relationship. And I think if we both didn't put as much effort in, maybe they wouldn't have emailed me. Maybe they don't do it for all students. But actually, it's putting myself out there and asking questions and going back for feedback. And
I'd call that upward management. I'd call that, as a tutor, I'm an individual, and I know that students who are showing willing and doing the homework and engaging, there's a virtuous circle sometimes. What about you?
For me, it's very personal, because obviously that approved learning provider, it's saying like, okay, the quality is there, but maybe not every tutor works for every student. It's also about how you study. And
so you studied online, and there is a towards the end, and there is a perception sometimes that online studying can be impersonal. What was your experience of the support you received? I
didn't feel very impersonal, like when I learned, for example, with you, because we used to WhatsApp pretty much all the time, asking you questions. It's a lot of interaction, but there are other approved learning providers where they offer like a lot of content on their website, but it can be really cold at times. Yeah, they answer your questions, but it's not like they are there with you. Where are other learning providers, it's more a bit of babysitting at times, isn't it? Like more looking after the student and yeah.
Good. Good.
So there are differences, and you need to find out what works for you.
Yeah. And clearly for both of you, ACCA has worked for you. But when you go back in time, there are other accounting bodies out there. What made you choose ACCA?
For me, I was working in services in an e-commerce company, in platforms, so I thought CIMA probably was like to management accounting and so manufacturing orientated, whereas ACA I know is more like practice driven. So I was wanting to find something in the middle. When I look, because I obviously did analysis on all the three accounting bodies. And when I look into the structure of the exams and what they offer and what are the exams about, I think HCCI offers a extensive range of knowledge. For example, I don't know, because I haven't done CIMA, but I know like some of the people I work with, they barely see much in tax, for example.
Right.
I think it's something that is good to know. Obviously, if you want to be an expert in tax, you have to do something else. But I think ACCA, that just
gives you that good general
view, and that applies to my real life as well. When I have to deal with auditors or with the tax department, I know what they're talking about. I'm not the expert, but I know what they are on.
And how did you come to do ACCA, Evie?
I think mine was quite natural from AAT. So I started level 2 AAT, and I think the natural progression was to ACCA. But also, similar, I looked at all three kind of main accountancy boards, and I spoke to people around me, so my peers, my colleagues who inspired me within my workplace, and most of these individuals were ACCA qualified. So I guess another push for ACCA was that I would have had that support. They've been there, they've done that. They'll know if I'm struggling and how it feels, and I think that's really important, knowing that other people around you are able to support you and they've been there, because someone can go, oh, you'll be all right. But if that person hasn't done it, how do they know I'll be okay? What if I'm not okay? So I think, that was a major thing for me.
Yeah. Well, I'm sure both of you are, in your own way, in your own workplace, also now that inspirational role model to people coming through, because you've got to be, because if you've received, you have to give and pay back, yeah?
Yeah, you always see people like I work in a big finance team, so you see people that they are working towards the qualification, and you see them, and it's like you empathize quite a lot, especially if you are their manager, like I've been there not that long ago. But I would say to everyone, there is a light at the end of the tunnel. There are exciting opportunities coming up, and I never met anyone who regrets about going through this hard journey. Everyone, one day you will look back and you will say it really worth it.
Powerful.
I feel proud of ourselves as well.
Yeah, and the self-confidence. Yeah.
I mean, I qualified 35 years ago. It changed my life, and I'm still proud of it. Anyway, less about me. Final closing question for you, Evie. If you could go back in time and meet your younger self, what advice would you give your younger self?
Firstly, I'd give myself a big hug and say you're going to be so proud of yourself. But I guess the main thing is believe in yourself more and, believe in yourself more and be proud of what you're doing and every step of the way, and kind of focus on my own path rather than, like we've mentioned, being kind of influenced.
It's a hard path, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's a hard path.
Very.
You've got to have resilience to keep going.
And consistency and motivation and determination. And so, my message would be keep going and focus.
Good. Powerful stuff.
Yeah, I will say a similar thing to me, like, I need to keep going. You will get there. But it was very, very, very tough. But now I feel like I can do anything what I...
Tough but worthwhile.
Yeah,
tough but worthwhile.
Absolutely.
Fantastic.
Also, if it was easy, everyone would do it.
Yeah.
So
It'd be worthwhile.
Exactly.
Yeah. And there is dark times, obviously, and sunny days, but you eventually get there. Just keep going. Don't get out of the loop. If you fail, keep on going, and you will get there.
And today is a sunny day, and today is a positive day, and I thank you, both of you, for joining me, and I hope you've enjoyed our conversation too.